All right, we're just about to gavel in here. All right, I need to call to order today's meeting, September 18th, Planning Commission meeting for Malibu. Let's see, roll call, please.
Commissioner Jennings? Commissioner Mazza?
Here.
Commissioner Euring?
Here.
Vice Chair Marks?
Here.
You have a quorum with Chair Pearson absent.
Excellent. Norm, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, Norm.
I make a motion to, for the agenda as recommended, with item 4A continued to October 16th, item 5A continued to November 6th, item 5B continued to October 2nd, and 5C continued to a date uncertain.
Second.
Yay, nay? Yay?
Yay.
Jeff?
Yep.
Yay? Okay, and then let's see, a report on the posting the agenda, please.
The agenda for this meeting was properly posted on September 8th, 2017.
Thank you very much. Let's see, so next up, okay, any written and oral communication from the public? Or, well, any ceremonies? I assume none? Okay, then any written and oral communication from the public on topics not on the agenda? Okay, give me a second. It's going faster than I planned. 1 sec. How about any planning commissioner comments? John,
yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, jumped too soon for
Yeah.
you.
You got to answer my question before you
Go
tell
ahead,
us
John.
yours. Where do we stand on the municipal code change on extensions?
Staff's preparing a report for that, and it's going to go before the city council. We are working on an LCPA, and believe what you're asking about is the time limit, how many extensions you can ask for, and that is something that. Do I have an upcoming date? I don't have a date on that one. Is it? Give me a moment. Yes, on October 9th, the City Council will see a staff report discussing the expiration. And it'll be because we're processing an amendment for it.
Thank you.
Any others? I did have one request. I know there's been a lot of projects coming through with site plan reviews. I would like to, however I propose this, but however it works, just have some more formal conversation kind of between us and staff as to what kind of is a minimum data set that we'd need for these reviews. Have some notice however that's needed, but I don't know procedurally what's done, but that's something that I'd be comfortable seeing happen.
You're seeking consensus to put a future item to discuss the information presented for site plan reviews? Is that?
Yes.
Let's see if there's consensus.
Can I modify that just a tad bit, if I may? Based upon the last meeting that we had where there was a project that came through and it didn't have any kind of detail regarding what the size of the the houses around it were, all right? I went back and did a little work on my own, all right? And I looked at Zillow. And Zillow's basically, if you look at their set, they pull data from the assessor's office. And I took a look at a road, and in 10 minutes, I can get you the sizes of all the houses that are around that road, all right? So I guess my question is, look, staff has been reluctant to give us that kind of information on every project, okay? And as we sort of look at stuff, I think that's important information to have. If staff had based the last report I saw that Bonnie did for the city council, Bonnie suggested that it took a long time to gather that kind of information. I can get it in 10 minutes. So I guess the process is, if staff is not going to provide that, I'm willing to go back and do that and send it in as a report prior to the meeting, okay, so everybody's got it. But let's make sure we got the information we need to make a good decision.
All right, well, I don't want to devolve into discussing the actual item, but if there is consensus to bring an item back at I guess since Bonnie's not here, maybe at the next available date at Bonnie's discretion, to discuss what information you'd like to have presented in these staff reports when there's a site plan review. If there's consensus, that can be added.
So I can't go out and do my own research and provide it to the staff?
Your role as a commissioner is to serve as the judge and not as to an investigator into the particular information here. You could run into issues with accuracy or with bias. If you perform your own investigation on this issue, it should be conducted by independent.
Even if I provide it to staff ahead of the meetings, everybody's got a copy of it. I can't do that.
No, it's not your role to do an investigation into these locations. You can go visit a location to, so you understand the information presented to you, but you're supposed to come to this meeting as a judge, as someone who has the information presented to you, and you make a decision on it, not investigating the project yourself.
Question.
Interesting.
If I decide that I don't have enough information because it's not provided, I don't have to hear it, do I?
No, you could make a motion to continue the item and to request additional information be brought back.
That may be the solution.
Well, and that's why I want to have a conversation with staff, so we're not having to push, because I just don't think, I'd rather have a conversation before we get to one of these situations, rather than get to it and have to make a decision each time. So if we have that discussion with
Yeah, look,
with staff-
I'm all favor, I'm in favor 100% of saying that, we need to get the information you need to make a good decision. And some of that information requires, some of the information I believe is required is some kind of an analysis of the size of the surrounding neighborhood. So if they'll give it to us, I'm a happy camper. If they're not, I think we got to find a way to get it. That's all my.
Okay, so should we vote on that, or?
You can see if you have consensus.
So you got consensus?
You got a consensus?
Yeah.
3 commissioners? Okay, so we'll bring that back at a future day when Bonnie can bring back an item on that.
Sooner rather than later.
Okay. Great. Okay, then any more, Commissioner or Richard, do you have something you wanted to add? I know you were about to speak earlier.
I didn't mean to jump ahead. I just wanted to make 2 announcements. I wanted to just let the commissioners know, as well as the public, that on October 30th, we're going to have a special meeting of the Planning Commission to go over the formula retail ordinance to replace Measure R. So there'll be a special meeting for that. And then also just a reminder that, kind of going along with what you were discussing, there's going to be a follow-up discussion on November 13th at the City Council on neighborhood character and the analysis and sources of data.
What date was that?
November 13th at the City Council.
Go ahead, John.
It's surprising to me, but people actually watch us on TV. So I wanted to announce that the Adamson House is going to bring Juan Cabrillo's ship that landed in Malibu in 475 years ago, a replica of that to the pier, actually outside of the pier, and offer rides on the boat and displays and people in outfits and everything. So if anybody's interested in taking a ride, go to adamsonhouse.org and sign up. Thank you.
I have one question. On the October 30 meeting, can you tell me a little bit about how that ordinance has been put together? Let me put it this way. Will the ordinance that come before us be an ordinance that's been vetted by the city attorney's office?
Yes, it'll be vetted by the city attorney's office.
Okay.
Great. So if no more comments from commissioners or staff, we'll move on to consent calendar. Does anyone want to pull any items?
I'd like to pull 3B1.
Anything else? And let's see, can I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent calendar?
Seconded.
All right, yay.
Yay.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go through item 3B1.
I just have a very simple question.
Okay, let me go ahead and read it through really quick, if I could. Yeah?
Okay, yeah, go
Sure,
read
can I say-
read the
okay.
title.
All right, so we've got, this is extension of coastal development permit number 12-063 and site plan review number 12-9, or -044. First request to extend the planning commission's approval of an application for the construction of a new single-family residence and associated development. And FYI, we do have a public speaker if you want to hear them first, John.
We'd like to hear him.
Great, then, let's see, I got a gavel in. So I'm going to open up public comment now. And we have Robert Radnati. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Joseph Lazama, and here on behalf of the applicant, Robert Radnoti and Noel Radnoti. He turned in his speaker slip. We're just here as the team. If any questions come up, John, from your question. Thanks.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. We never had a staff report, but it doesn't matter. I talked to Adrian today about how we got a 3-year, 2-year deal going here before we've done that as far as extensions. And I asked him where this stood, and he said they're almost ready to roll. And they asked for a 2-year, but they don't really require a 2-year. So my question of Joseph is, do you really require 2 years?
Thanks, John. With the discussion that's going on about these time extensions and just our want to have our CDP active through construction, we thought it would just be really sporty to get through to construction in a year. We are right around the corner of getting our permits, grading construction and pool, but that 2-year window is a little tight for us. So that 1-year window is a little tight for us. We just want to make sure we're covered throughout construction.
Thank you. Okay, I want to make a motion to.
Let me close the public comment. Well, close the public comment. Thank you. Go ahead, John.
I want to make a motion to recommend staff's recommendation for
I'll
staff.
second.
Roll call vote. No, just yea, nay. Everyone
Yeah.
good? All in favor? Aye. And everything else is deferred, right?
Right, I move we adjourn.
Any second?
Second.
All right, well, adjourned.
Thank you all for coming.